Hello, everybody. Listen, we are very excited to talk with y'all for a hot second. I'm Jim Search. I am a comedian. I'm a writer. I am a podcaster. And also, arguably, most importantly, I am from upstate New York. I am from the great city of Binghamton, New York, also known as the carousel capital of the world, located in the 607. You can find me at jimsearchcomedy.com. Go to all social media at jimsearch if you're looking for me. And I'm very excited to tell you about this podcast, which is called Understanding Upstate. It is a show dedicated to everything upstate, and we're going to talk so much more about it, about exactly what we're getting into. And I can tell you that it would be insane if it was just me talking, because that is what we call a manifesto, and we're not here to do that. I have my good friend here with me, a big fan of upstate New York and an all-around swell dude who's going to tell you all about himself right now.
Hey, I am Rob Adler, and Jim, I would read or listen to that manifesto. Like, you got one customer. It'd be good.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, I'm a videographer, podcast producer, and editor. Now host, a newer role for me, and kind of do all my work under the banner of Brooklyn Frequency. You can check me out, brooklynfrequency.com. And yeah, I'm not from upstate. Originally grew up in Minnesota. I've been living here in Brooklyn, and I'm just a big fan of upstate. I love getting up there, and have loved learning about upstate through Jim for the last year and a half or so. So really excited to chat it up each week about upstate.
Well, listen, we're going to get started in none other than Binghamton, New York, which is the home place of your boy right here. And, we're going to talk a little bit about that and, all the other cities in upstate New York. I mean, contrary to popular belief, New York State doesn't end and begin in New York City. There's an entire state outside of there. You have Syracuse, Rochester, Buffalo, so many cities in between that deserve our time and energy to talk about.
Yeah.
We are very excited to bring you a look into upstate New York and some of the folks who grew up there, some of the sights and the lights that upstate New York has to offer. And, I think should we tell them about some of the segments that we have? I think that's a smart thing to do.
I think so.
So, for example, one thing we're going to get into are the great moments in upstate New York history. A lot of things have happened above New York City, and we're going to be highlighting some of the historic events that have occurred there and just talk about the event itself, the impact, and how it's reflected today.
We're also going to take a look at landmarks, some historical, some present, new museums, things like that. And there's a lot of history from upstate, but a lot of really cool communities upstate as well, that call upstate home or started upstate. One of my favorites, and I'm going to talk about it a lot until we do an episode on it, is the Star Trek Experience Museum. It's a landmark, and it's in Ticonderoga, where you would not expect.
Is it safe to say that we're going to boldly go where no podcast has gone before?
I believe that is true.
Ah, man.
Engage is what I say to that.
See, that's about as far as my one-liner regarding Star Trek is going to go. But you know what? I'm here to learn, too. I'm not the end-all, be-all of upstate New York. I mean, a lot of people seem to think that, but trust me, I'm not, man. That's not me. And also, one fun little game that we have in store for you is Guess the Pop. I guess that's a working title right now, though that's pretty funny because pop is a slang term for soda.
Hey, I'm originally from Minnesota, and that's what we call it.
There is an overlap of mid-state colloquialisms in upstate New York. So while Rob, you may not, in fact, be from upstate New York, there is some Midwest vibes that I think you'll readily identify with.
For sure.
There you go. But as we were saying before, the segment entitled Working Title, Guess the Pop. We are going to take a city in upstate New York, and we're going to give some fun tidbits about the town, and one of us is going to have to guess how many people live there. Exciting shit.
We're also going to talk food. We got buffalo wings, we got garbage plates, we got Speedies, and we got Michigan Red Hots, which are not from Michigan. They're from upstate.
Now, I will give you a little teaser. Speedies come from the old Binghamton, New York, baby. That's right. Very excited to, I may turn into a Speedy at the end of it. Who knows? You guys will have to tune in to find out. Just tune in anyway if I don't.
That is a fate that I wish upon everyone. More Speedies in the world is a good thing, as far as I'm concerned.
It's so funny. They're like, in my deep dives into the world of Speedies, I've seen that they have like vegan options for Speedies. And I'm like, I love my vegan brothers and sisters, but I don't know if that works. I'm just going to keep it 100. No disrespect to the vegan community. Sure. You know, God bless all of you, but a vegan Speedy, no me goose.
Hey, I'd try a tofu Speedy.
I don't know. The 607 in me is gonna not allow that to occur. But I would never yuck your yum, man. Never. That's not the Binghamton way.
I hear you. What else are we going to talk about? I think maybe a little industry. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different. A lot of industry here in the States started in upstate New York. You got towns like Gloversville. Guess what they made in Gloversville?
Boots.
Ooh. That's a good guess. Good guess. Gloves. Shocker.
Shit, man. I, for one, am shocked by that. I lost, but, don't let the L be a loss. Let it be a lesson.
Speaking of lessons, we could learn about the whaling industry up in Hudson, New York, which is nowhere near the ocean. Like weird tidbits like that.
We're going to give you everything. And also, we're going to have some interviews with some upstate New York legends that have come out of this fair state, and very excited for those as well, because, not only is there many significant landmarks and moments, there's also people that have come out of there that have really impacted society as we know it, and very excited to talk to those folks and have them on the show and see how they have carried the flag of upstate New York around the world.
I like it. Yeah. So this is Understanding Upstate, the podcast. That would lend one to believe that there are other Understanding Upstate properties, that media properties that exist. Would they be correct in assuming that?
They would be 1,000% correct in that. In fact, as we have played with those words, Understanding Upstate and Upstate Understandings, there's a litany of media outlets that one could dive into. Case in point, Upstate Understandings. That is a stand-up comedy album that's available at jimsearch.bandcamp.com, which has given birth to a documentary. Rob, do you know the name of it? It's right on the tip of my tongue. Do you know anything about this?
God. I believe that is called Understanding Upstate, which you could parenthetically call the documentary. And I believe that was directed by this guy right here. You can't see me pointing to myself, but I'm in fact pointing to myself. And that's a kind of a behind the scenes look at Upstate Understandings, the album. The log line for that is one man's journey from upstate to on stage. So kind of taking a look at Jim and his journey from Binghamton, growing up there, kind of where he's gained his influences for his comedy from the great town of Binghamton, and then juxtaposing that with his life in Brooklyn now. And it features a lot of Binghamton in it, a lot of upstate, and upstate has been a big topic for the two of us for year and a half?
I would say so, man.
Since we first set off to record your album.
That's right. And I do want to, while we're here, certainly shout out the other folks who are behind the scenes that helped make that possible. Chiefly Regal Monk, who you've heard on the intro for my album and here as well. So major shout out to him, and Adam Russell, who designed the album cover, all 3 album covers. So I want to give him a big shout out too. And also my man, Matt Ely, who the night of the recording did the video for it as well. So there was so many people behind the scenes that certainly deserve their flowers, because without them, that album wouldn't have been possible. And of course, Rob Adler, who you're listening to as well.
Oh, goodness.
I'm going to shout him out too. So
it's in the liner notes. It's fine.
Well,
we don't
no.
have to do it here.
Okay. All right.
Look, they can buy the album to see you thank me. That's good logic, right?
Right. And then if they've bought one, then they can always buy another one.
It's
right?
true.
It's
true.
That's how that can work for you. Over at jimsearch.bandcamp.com, by the way, in case you're curious about where you could pick that up.
There you go. So we're doing a podcast on upstate New York, but different people have different definitions of what the term upstate actually means. So, Jim, can you break down kind of what definition we're going to use for the podcast Understanding Upstate?
So here's the deal, and this has been a timeless debate as to what constitutes upstate New York. And I'm here to tell you that according to me, the world I live in, if you live off the Metro North, then you are downstate. And anything past that, you are in upstate New York. So, example, your good friend here is from Binghamton, New York. That'd make me from upstate New York now, wouldn't it?
I think it would. That's a Coach USA bus. There's no Metro North.
That's right. And a short line, we go the distance. That was their tag.
There we go.
That's their tag.
All right. We got our definition.
And we are going to ask some of our guests who come through our podcast here, Understanding Upstate, what is their definition of upstate New York?
That sounds like a podcast, Jim. All right. Next up, Jim, I got a little game for us. Game, segment, whatever you want to call it. And I've called this What's Up Upstate. So
love it.
3 rounds. We got 3 rounds. And it's we're all familiar with 2 truths and a lie. This is 2 lies and a truth because I don't want to burn through all of my upstate facts in one go. So we're going to kind of stretch it out a little bit.
Okay.
So 3 rounds. I would say maybe an increasing difficulty, definitely increasing silliness. For sure.
Well, let's go get it.
All right. Round 1 is going to be titled Big and Small. This is 3 things, either world's biggest or world's smallest. One of these is actually in upstate New York. 2 of these either don't exist or are not in upstate New York.
Got it.
Okay. So you got to figure out which one's real.
All right.
Or really in upstate. Are you ready?
I think so. I hope so.
Round 1, big and small. First option, we've got the world's largest glove. Option 2, world's largest Prozac capsule. Option 3, world's smallest ball of twine. Jim, which of these is actually in upstate New York?
I'm going to say, since upstate New York can be, in some circles, the home of the glove, I'm going to say the biggest glove, or the world's largest glove, is in upstate New York.
Jim, you are not correct. It's not the glove. It, in fact, is the world's largest Prozac capsule.
Well, actually, now that I think about life in upstate New York, that tracks.
Which can be found in Red Hook, New York, the town, not the neighborhood.
Okay.
It is described as a sculpture created out of a retired septic tank, but it is painted much like a Prozac capsule. I believe it's 1 million milligrams.
Jesus.
Is the listed amount.
Sounds like you would OD on happiness from that if I were to make that witticism.
Indeed. I mean, that's upstate.
All right. I'm 0 for 1. I'm 0 for 1.
That's all right. That was a tricky one. And I was talking about gloves earlier, like, a little bit of a red herring.
That's why I went there.
You know what? I may have known what I was doing.
Oh, man. Damn it. All right.
Round 2. Still a chance for redemption.
Okay.
Round 2 is called Golden Oldies. So this is under the category of like world's oldest kind of things.
Sure.
So again, 2 of these are not in upstate New York. One of these is. Option 1, world's oldest freshwater fish. Option 2, oldest mini golf course in the country. Option 3, oldest tree in the Appalachian Mountains.
In the Appalachian Mountains?
Yes.
Got it.
The Appalachian Mountain Range.
I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with the oldest tree in the Appalachian Mountain Range.
Oh, you're 0 for 2.
Fuck, man. I'm just going to tell Binghamton I'm never coming back.
It's all right. It's the real one is the oldest mini golf course in the USA, and it doesn't look that great.
Well, where might that be located?
This is going to begin a long, ongoing bit of me apologizing for mispronouncing upstate New York town names.
Okay.
This is Irondequoit.
Irondequoit.
Yes.
That is near Rochester, New York.
Ah, well, there we go.
Yes, I do know that. And I will say I know that because I went to college, Niagara University, and a lot of my homies were from Rochester, so I learned everything there is to know about Rochester and the surrounding area. So I know how to say Irondequoit.
But you didn't know about the mini golf.
Which, you know what?
It's been there since 1930, Jim.
Yeah, why, in all my time there, why didn't I swing over there? You're right.
And it's the original layout, which, again, I think I'm looking at a picture of like a crabbing cage.
Mm-hmm.
It's been incorporated into mini golf. So if you want some historical mini golf experiences,
head up there.
Upstate New York, baby.
That's right. All right, 0 for 2. This is my last shot at redemption. Hopefully I get it. If not, then 607, I have failed you.
All right, here we go. This is, you know what? This one's for all the marbles. If you get it, you win.
Oh, shit. I'll just be 3 for 3.
Here we go.
All right, let's go.
Round 3 is titled Monumental, and we're talking upstate monuments. All right. But they may be a little bit unconventional.
Okay.
Number 1, monument commemorating the invention of the potato chip. Number 2, memorial dedicated to the United States' first assassinated elephant. Option 3, plaque commemorating the stump of the tree that was used to fashion emergency replacement dentures for George Washington as the Continental Army moved north.
Wow. Okay. Those were 3 very, very specific monuments. What one was the elephant?
There was a memorial dedicated to the United States' first assassinated elephant.
Okay. And then what was the first one?
You couldn't remember these?
Yeah.
A monument commemorating the invention of the potato chip.
Oh, I'm going to go with the tree stump for George Washington's dentures.
Jim, I'm so sorry.
I'm 0 for 3.
You're 0 for 3.
Oh my God. Forget it. This is our maiden voyage and this is our Titanic.
I'm glad you chose that one because that took me a lot of time to come up with.
Yeah. Well, and also like he had some ties in upstate New York, I believe. So that is why I went that route.
Look, that was 10 minutes of my life crafting that question. And then the potato chip, too, was actually invented in upstate New York, but sadly, there is not a monument commemorating that fact.
The first assassinated elephant?
Yeah.
Really?
Let me tell you a little bit about Old Bet, short for Elizabeth.
Okay.
It's like a 200-year-old monument. So a farmer got Old Bet to conceivably plow the fields, and I was like, wait a minute, it's a goddamn elephant. I'm going to charge people a nickel to look at it and make money. So he took the elephant all around and was up in Maine. Someone was angry that there was an elephant in town and shot and killed the elephant.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
What an asshole.
Yeah, right? Like, goddamn. Allegedly, they're just mad that people are spending money on elephants. I don't get it.
That's fucking different.
But they put up it looks like an obelisk with an elephant on top.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's, I didn't say where it is.
Yeah, I was going to ask you where that.
That is in Somers, New York.
Somers, New York?
Yes. Somers.
I don't, I used to pride myself on knowing pretty much every city in upstate New York, but Somers is not one that I know.
It's, I think it's smaller. It's northern Westchester, over from like Peekskill.
Oh, okay. So like downstate, as some might call it.
Indeed.
Got it. Well, listen, folks, your good friend here went 0 for 3 on the battery of tests. I hope this wasn't like a citizenship test for upstate New York, because I would be exiled from my fair home plane of existence.
Look, it just goes to show that you and I both have a little bit of learning to do to understand upstate.
Listen, guys, I don't know if it's going to get better than that, if I'm going to be brutally frank with you.
That's a wrap. That's an episode.
Yeah. So please tune in next week, and we will catch you then.
Hey, speaking of next week, what are we up to?
Well, we are going to go, I'm going to paraphrase this, and I'll leave it as the hint. We're going to be traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind, a journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. And you'll figure out what that stop is next week.
Well, all right. I've been Rob Adler.
And I'm going to continue to be Jim Search.
Over and out. Is that our sign off? That's not a good sign off. I don't
see you.
See you on the upside.
See you on the upstate. See you next week. Although that's a code for a slur. But yeah, I don't know. Just come fuck with us next week and check out some. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out what our catchy hook will be. But yeah, figure it out then. Bye. Understanding Upstate is a podcast hosted by Jim Search and Rob Adler, edited by Rob Adler, and music from Regal Monk.